Primetime Seniors is brought to you by Home Helpers, committed to keeping you safe and independent at home.
Welcome to Primetime Seniors, living for today, making choices for tomorrow. I'm Allie McNair, and we're coming to you from the Hilton Head Humane Association. It's the new year and a great time to set some priorities for personal goals. For some of us, it can be losing weight, getting into better health. For others, it's getting organized, decluttering the home. And even more important for some of us, challenging ourselves, learning new things, or going out and helping a local organization in need. Coming up on Primetime Seniors, we're going to cover all those topics, so stay with us. Here's what's coming up. We'll learn how patients at the Main Street Health Center have become pain-free, allowing them to live healthier and more active lives. We're going to speak with Elizabeth Nance of Lifelong Learning of Hilton Head to discuss the exciting courses they have available in 2011. And Debbie Morris will be sharing some great decluttering tips to help you get organized this year. Joining me now is Franny Gerdhofer. She is the Executive Director of the Hilton Head Humane Association. Now, for our viewers that have said, I want to help a local organization in need, this is a place to come check out, right?
Oh, please. And what we do is encourage you to come in and check it out first. Let us give you the grand tour. Let us introduce you to everybody here so you feel at home, and then we'll get you started on the best volunteer opportunity for you.
What kind of volunteer opportunities do you have?
There's so many. I mean, the big thing for us is obviously to get animals adopted. So we start at the top and we work our way down to the bottom, but we do like to work people in to help us network, help us with adoptions, market the animals, talk them up, and then socialize, spend time, take them to adoption events, help with us here on campus with them. So adoptions are key. And then, of course, socialization programs, and then we have fundraising opportunities, because we always need that person who knows how to talk and knows how to sort of shake the curtains and the sheets and really get some great opportunity for donations here. And then really just our wish list, where volunteers help promote the need of what is needed here on a daily basis.
What about adoption itself? Primetime Seniors, we're looking at an age group, I say 50 and older. I'm 53, I'm in that group. What do pets do? What would adopting a pet here do for someone?
Well, of course we say, everybody wins, both the pet and the senior. But the whole idea of just having that companionship, pet therapy, and what I mean by that, not just pet, but touching, stroking, caring for, being responsible for, having someone be very appreciative of that care that you give, and animals truly are. I mean, it is a win-win relationship.
And you really work to know the animals here and match them up with the right person, because I know even in your descriptions you'll say so-and-so loves to take walks, or maybe there's a dog or cat that likes to kind of just hang out at home more. So you really work on making sure it's a good match.
We really do, and actually we have trainers here that help us with first giving a behavioral assessment to each and every animal, so that we have a little bit more information on them as people come in, and then they give us information about their household and themselves, their activity level, visitors in and out of their house, anything that would startle an animal or not be a very good fit or maybe a great fit. Yeah. So with the help of our trainers, we can really do a whole lot of good with relationships.
We're doing a segment on decluttering and getting organized a little bit later, and you are associated with, or the litter box is really yours, so to speak.
It is.
Talk about that and how people can maybe bring some of those items to the litter box.
Well, first of all, that is a great volunteer opportunity, so let's start there. But also, the manager, Bobby Hilton, who's been with us for many years, does a fantastic job over there. She takes any and everything, and not only that, she will pick up as well. So if you have something that's a little bit too much for you to bring on, we are happy to go to your home and pick that up for you.
And if someone maybe likes to do inventory or design of, putting clothes out there or different items, it's a good place to volunteer.
Absolutely, and you don't have to be committed to so many days. We'll take you when you're available, so you're always welcome.
What is the best way for people to get in touch with you? Do you prefer them to call you first before they come in, or contact you via email?
They can always come in, and of course, I always like to be with a person or have them call me on the phone. I like the one-on-one contact.
Right. Well, Franny Gerthofer, we want to thank you so much. Any final thought you want to leave with folks watching out there?
Well, I want them to know that we're open every day of the week from 11 until 4, so we're happy to see them. And then we're closed on Tuesdays to the public, but we are here, so all we need is a phone call first.
Well, Franny Gerthofer, Hilton Head Humane Association, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great talking with you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, but before we do, we're going to check in with Debbie Morris, who has some great information on how you can declutter and organize your home.
It's a new year, and we all know that over time, our houses accumulate treasures, keepsakes, junk that we can get rid of. So here are some ideas on how to declutter and organize. One good place to start is your kitchen cupboards. Go through all your kitchen cupboards one at a time, and you'll be amazed at what you can find that can be thrown out. When I cleaned mine out, I was amazed at how many of my plastic containers had no lids and how many lids had no containers. I also found some spices that were about 5 years old. Another good place to declutter and clean out is your bedroom closet. The saying goes, if you haven't worn it in a year, get rid of it. I'm not sure I agree with the statement totally, but it's a good guideline to follow. I'm always amazed at the clothes I get rid of and how many I still have when I do clean out my closets. Now, I'm the daughter of a librarian and avid reader, so I can always look to get some organizing done on my bookcases. Before I discovered the joy of a Kindle, I had accumulated a lot of books, so I've gone through and donated quite a few. Also, as I go through my bookcases, you might want to consider doing this too. Get rid of some of the knickknacks, papers, and magazines that also fill them up. The dreaded bathroom. We all know that there are things in there that we can get rid of. We know how cluttered and overflowing those vanities and medicine cabinets can get. Go through them with a garbage bag handy. Anything that is hardened, softened, or changed color, it goes in the bag. Any expired items, including prescriptions, go in the bag. Anything that's broken goes in the bag. Anything that's a duplicate or that you will not use in the next year, think about donating that. Another scary place is under the bed. Take a weapon with you, a broom or a vacuum. I have no idea what you're going to find under the bed, but I guarantee you that a lot of it can go. And a few general tips for decluttering. Start slowly. Remember that it took months or years to accumulate all those things, so the process will not be completed in a day. And remember that the goal is not to rearrange your things, it's to declutter and to organize. Invest in some inexpensive plastic containers and you'll be able to neatly store all the items that you don't use regularly. Small ones from the dollar store or some other shop can organize CDs, pantry items, and your closet. Later in the show, we'll be talking with John Farrell, a local attorney, about how to organize some of your personal papers, your advance directives.
Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Probably the #1 resolution of the new year for many people is becoming more fit or getting healthier. A lot of people don't think of chiropractic care as a way to do that, but joining me now is Dr. Joseph Haven of Main Street Health Center. Last time you and I talked, we were talking about some of the myths surrounding chiropractic care, one of those being that it's solely used to treat back and joint pain.
Well, I think because chiropractic care is so effective at treating back and joint pain that we tend to get pigeonholed. That, along with the fact that chiropractors actually deliver their adjustments primarily to the spine, that there's the association with the back. But to fully understand how chiropractic works, we really need to take a look at a model. So I'm going to use my spine model, and this just represents a spine with the head being up here and the pelvis being down here. When we look at the spine, we see that the brain is up here, and from the brain comes the spinal cord, which is housed inside these vertebral bodies. From the cord come 31 pair of nerves that branch out at each vertebral level. The brain, the spinal cord, and those nerve roots make up the nervous system. These nerve roots come out, they branch out, and they go to literally every cell in our body. So every cell has a phone line or communication to the nervous system. The nervous system is the master system. It controls all the other systems in the body. So as chiropractors, what we look to do is correct what we call subluxations. Subluxations are simply misalignments of the vertebra. The word subluxation means less than a dislocation, but not in the proper alignment. So when bones, or particularly vertebral bones, are out of alignment, they can put pressure or tension on a nerve root, which means wherever that nerve is going, whatever the function of that nerve is going to be altered.
So say I am experiencing some arm pain traveling down the arm. How would we look at that model and figure out what's going on?
Well, the first thing we would do is do a palpatory exam of this area, because it's this area that houses what we call the brachial plexus, which is the network of nerves that actually comes down and controls the arm. So we would take x-rays, do that palpatory exam, and then determine how we wanted to make the corrections in this area. And as we made those corrections, in most cases, the patient's going to gradually see symptomatic relief. This problem is actually very similar to what is a little bit more common, which is sciatic pain. So when a patient has pain running down their leg, it's going to be because of some nerve irritation somewhere along in this lumbar or sacral area, the lower part of the spine. That nerve being irritated, and then that contributes to the sciatic nerve.
Now, how would this apply to other areas of health issues?
Well, again, if we go back to the principle that the brain, the spinal cord, and these nerve roots make up the nervous system, and that the nervous system is the master system and controls all the organs, glands, muscles in the body, then the same principle holds true that we discussed with the arm pain or the leg pain, and that is, if a nerve is being irritated and that nerve goes to the heart or the lungs or the liver, then over time that organ just isn't going to function optimally. It's not going to be getting the right signals from the brain, and over time that just makes an organ more susceptible to disease. To put this in perspective, because for most lay people this is a very new concept, but to put it in perspective, if we take what is treated medically that is not of an emergency or crisis nature, it's estimated that nearly 90% is considered idiopathic, another big word meaning unknown origin. So when a patient goes to their medical doctor and they have fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue or irritable bowel or headaches or gastric reflux, those conditions are usually diagnosed as idiopathic, unknown origin. There's lots of medications they can take to manage the symptoms, but in most cases, the medical doctor doesn't really know what's causing the problem. And what we find very often is patients will come in with low back pain, but in adjusting the spine, some of these other visceral conditions actually improve.
Well, Dr. Joseph Haven, I want to thank you so much,
thank you
as usual, especially explaining how the system works in our body and how really chiropractic care can lead us to better health. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're here with attorney John Farrell. And John, we've been talking in this show about getting organized to start out the new year. People are making New Year's resolutions, and getting organized is always on one of my lists. I have many lists. But one of the things that I deal with, because I deal with a lot of families at Home Helpers, and one of the things I deal with is powers of attorney. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people have one kind and sometimes they have another. Can you talk a little bit about, as we organize our lives and as we organize our papers, why a power of attorney?
Okay. Basically, we have two different types of powers of attorney. You have your durable power of attorney, and what you're doing there is you're appointing an individual to handle your financial affairs while you may be mentally incapacitated, or mentally incompetent, I should say, or physically incapacitated. You need to still have your mortgage paid. You
Right.
may have hospital bills you have to pay, so that's what you're doing under the durable power of attorney. Now, your healthcare power of attorney, you're appointing an agent to make healthcare decisions on your behalf. And that's important because you want to pick someone who knows you well and knows what forms of medical treatment you want to be given, instead of having the doctors decide.
And it sounds like these are discussions that you should be having in advance, so that you're sure that the person you assign to be your agent in both those cases is comfortable doing that. It's a huge responsibility.
Oh, yes, it is.
So you do want it to be someone that you trust. And so maybe as we organize, the first thing we could be doing is thinking in our heads, who do I trust in my family, among my friends, my community, that I would trust to carry out my wishes financially and medically.
Right.
Both. Okay, so powers of attorney is one piece of paper or set of papers that we probably need to be talking about getting organized. What about our wills?
Okay, well, we have two different types of wills. You have your will that most people are familiar with, and that's an instrument to relay how you want your property disposed of upon your death. Now, we also have a living will, and what that does, it's a declaration by the individual that they do not wish to receive life-sustaining procedures. Life-sustaining procedures are those that will extend your or prolong the death. A doctor will say that you have a terminal illness and you cannot be saved. And that
so you have to decide at that point whether you want medical procedures that would continue your life.
Right. It's under two conditions: if you're rendered terminally ill, or you will have you're going to be unconscious for some time. Usually, it's 90 days at least.
So you're. Just like with your power of attorney, one type of power of attorney, your durable power of attorney, is more your financial, and then you have your healthcare power of attorney, and then you have your will, which is your property, and your living will is your treatment during the end of your life and how you're going to do that.
Permanent unconsciousness or terminal illness. That's what the living will is for.
Now, I use... in homes that I go into in our company, we put in files of life. The Hilton Head Fire Department has this program, and we participate in that the files of life, where people can put, medical information and things like that if there's an emergency and the emergency medical team has to come in to their home. Sometimes some of our clients have in there written DNR.
Right.
Now, is that DNRs do not resuscitate?
Correct.
Which means they're saying they don't want to be vented or given breathing assistance. Is that part of the living will, or is that separate?
That is separate. That is for the emergency responders. Because when they get to your home, they have a duty to give life-sustaining treatment or CPR. If they have that document in hand, they do not have to perform those. Because it's the wish of the citizen not to have that done. Exactly.
Oh, John, there's so much we could be talking about. I mean, and it's all about getting organized and getting your life organized. And I always thought to have a will, I needed a big estate with lots of money, and obviously I don't need that, but I need a will. So more to come on Prime Time Seniors, and thank you, John.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Curiosity and the desire to learn are traits that stay with us throughout our lifetime. And we are very lucky on Hilton Head Island to have lifelong learning of Hilton Head. That's where you can pick and choose courses that you would like to take. Here to tell us more about it is Elizabeth Nance. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Give us a little more information on lifelong learning of Hilton Head.
Well, the beauty of it is that all of the classes are on the island, at beautiful venues, from the Port Royal Beach Club to facilities like this, the Public Service Department, to various banks, and also to a lot of the assisted living places. Also, we are so fortunate here to have so many talented and educated people, from professors to psychiatrists to people that have written as many as 45 books, scientists that are willing to put classes together and come share their expertise with us.
What a great opportunity for people that really want to stimulate their thought processes by going to some of these classes. Give us some examples of what I might be able to take through lifelong learning of Hilton Head.
Well, one of the most popular classes, and incidentally, it fills up very fast, is current events. And it is taught by more of a Democrat-leaning person, a Republican-leaning person, and then about 25 people that, as it says, discusses the current events that are taking place.
That has to be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, very spirited, very, very well-read people. You can learn a lot with this just by sitting there and listening.
I bet. And also, from my understanding, a Supreme Court class?
Yes, that's coming up for the winter quarter, that they will discuss various issues that have come before the Supreme Court. Again, two very very, very smart guys that are both attorneys that know so much about this.
If I kind of have the bent towards the artistic, you do things as far as literature and music as well?
Exactly, exactly. There's going to be a course on Beethoven. There will be also courses all along on great literature. There's a course on architect, the history of American architect. So you see, it just really runs the gamut. There is a course that's being taught on writing, where the Audrey Allison has people go into themselves and write not only their memoirs, but to try to understand more about what's happened in their lives.
That's wonderful. Now, how does it work, though? How do I become, I believe it's a member of Lifelong Learning, and pay for courses? How does that all work?
Well, it's very, very reasonable. Of course, we already have had the fall quarter. You would pay $30 to join for the whole year. That's all. And then each semester or section, which runs 6 weeks for the fall, 6 weeks for the winter, is $45. However, with that, you can attend as many classes as you want. I mean, you can go every day, twice a day, because they run morning and afternoon and also on Saturday.
And the new semester now, the winter term, will begin when?
It will begin January the 10th. And of course, the classes are all taught at different days during the week, and it will run for 6 weeks. There are some classes that only are one-day classes, but most of them are from 4 to 6 weeks.
You also start again, I believe, in April.
We do.
What information do people need in order to contact you or to be able to sign up for Lifelong Learning of Hilton Head?
Well, our website will tell you everything that you need to know, and that is lifelonglearninghhi.org. And it will have the calendar on it. You can also call the phone number that you can call is 843-842-8250. And they will send you a catalog, and you send your check in, and you're ready to go.
Well, Elizabeth Nance, I want to thank you so much. It is great to know that we have this wonderful Lifelong Learning of Hilton Head right here on Hilton Head Island. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for watching Primetime Seniors, and also a big thank you to everyone who participated in today's show. Dr. Joseph Haven with the Main Street Health Center, Franny Gerthofer with Hilton Head Humane Association, Attorney John Farrell, and as always, Debbie Morris with Home Helpers. Make it a great new year and live Primetime, seniors.